Hey guys, it's Caven from True Champion Gaming, and I am here to wrap up our ALC set review. We've covered every element and every card except for one that was left out, and it is because we wanted to do a special video for the Divine Relic from the set, just like we did in our very controversial FTC Divine Relic review, which it turned out to be right, even though there was a lot of argument at first. And we're here to hopefully make the right type of call again. I guess I'll just jump right into it. So we only have one card from the new set to talk about, but as part of our Divine Relic spoiler series, like, we're going to be doing this for every new set that comes out. So what we're going to do each time is we're going to kind of regrade the old Divine Relics as well. So it'll kind of get bigger and bigger every video, and we can have more of an updated view on how each Divine Relic feels. Let's talk about the first one, the best one, Grand Crusader's Ring. This is still just the 5 out of 5 Divine Relic. It is impossible to really get a better card than this. It's just materialize it for free, banish it, and immediately draw a card. Not really too much to talk about there. It's strong. That's it. 5 out of 5. Quicksilver Grail. So when this card first came out, there was a lot of excited feelings about it from the community. And a lot of people were thinking it was going to be crazy strong. There was mind game potential. It was a very, very different Divine Relic compared to Grand Crusader's Ring. While a lot of people thought it might be better, everyone at True Champion Gaming gave it a 2 out of 5 review. And there was a bunch of memes around that, but honestly, it really was 2 out of 5. We saw Ascent Houston come a month after the set came out, and I don't think a single deck in the top 8 was mainboarding it. It definitely is a decent sideboard card, especially to pair with something like Lantern or Tithe, and that's really all that we've seen it for. You can use it in like Fire Xander to protect a dagger so that your opponent can't like spurn it on your turn, and there's some really niche things there, which is what led to that kind of 2, maybe 3 out of 5, because it can be a sideboard card. But honestly, not much changes with the ALC. Obviously, we have to see how the new format looks. The only new interaction, which is pretty cool, is that you can use it to turn on the infinite combo loop in Astra, which you can go watch our Astra video if you want to figure out what that is. You can use it to basically turn that on faster. So there's a card that, for that loop to happen, it has to be the last material card in your deck, and you need to materialize it. So what you can do is you can use Grail to basically cheat out one extra materialization faster. And the really neat thing is you could even tie this in with like Wind and use Zephyrs on Grail, and yeah, you'll lose the card that you banished each time, but you can just essentially turn Zephyr into a Beseech that you're not getting value out of, but you're using to, again, Grail will always be this kind of card that has some really unique interactions, but so far those interactions aren't broken, and it's again has a lot of potential. We talked about that so much in our FTC video. Bad card right now, sideboard card right now, niche card right now, so much potential later. And we are seeing already in the next set some potential that is right in front of our faces. And we might have more that we don't see yet. But again, it's a very niche card. I'm going to bump it up to I'm going to keep it a 2 out of 5, actually. I baited you guys, never mind. The reason is it's a 2 out of 5 because you have to compare it with Grand Crusader Ring. I almost bumped it to a 3 out of 5 because it is still a decent sideboard card, but it's a 2 out of 5 card, guys. Let's talk about the new one, Temporal Spectrometer. I'll just give you my rating right away. This is actually a 1 out of 5. So it's got a really strong effect. It's a Divine Relic, right? However, the biggest issue is that this card is attempting to save you resources by taking an extra materialization, which is similar to what Ring does, to be fair. But essentially, when you're comparing this, because it specifically is a Divine Relic, is why it's a 1 out of 5. If this wasn't a Divine Relic, obviously it'd be rated much higher. But giving up Ring to play this instead means that and I'm sure Isaac's probably putting the card on the screen so you guys can read the text, so I'm just going to go right into talking about it. You basically have to have this card out for 2 whole turns in order to actually get value from it. Because if you bring it out, tap it, put a time counter on it, and then the next turn immediately just sack it and go into your level 1 or something like that for free, you could have essentially just done that by playing Ring and drawing a card and then losing that card to level up, right? So this card has to sit on the field for multiple turns to actually find value. In testing, I found that it really like locked you to leveling up immediately too, because if you go Spectrometer and then you skip a turn or two of leveling up and you go into like something else instead, let's say a Terrafring or something, then like you're really just delaying the value that you get off of Spectrometer. And you have this card that sat there for like 5 turns, hopefully didn't get blown up before you finally get into level 3. It also kind of like, honestly, just Dungeon Guide is crazy. Dungeon Guide should be a UR, SR, Divine Relic, something like that for how good it is. Obviously, Divine Relic wouldn't work, but Dungeon Guide has just been shown to be one of the strongest cards in this game. And this card will get the most value by going into level 3, which is also where you usually want to go with Dungeon Guide. So it kind of counteracts how Grand Archive is being played at the moment. And again, I think this card will have a lot of value and a lot of potential going forward, just like Grail will. However, I think there's more of a game state needs to change, or a meta needs to change or something, versus like support for this card being brought out kind of like Grail is. Because you don't have to necessarily make a card that has support with Grail, whereas Grail just has like synergy with every new Regalia printed ever, basically. So anyways, just to keep it short, I know I've been rambling on a little bit in this video. I definitely give this card a 1 out of 5. I will say I've opened up cases and cases and cases and cases of this new set to fulfill a lot of orders for people that are trying to compete in California and just people that are wanting to get their hands on the new set. And I have literally sold 0 Temporal Spectrometer. That says something. I've sold every single SR, pretty much every single rare from the set, every card out of the side, the structure decks and everything. And the only card that's not being bought is this card. So that might show you something. That being said, you know, it is still a card to definitely keep in mind. Like I said, could be good in really niche ways, in really specific metas and stuff like that. But there it is, guys. 1 out of 5. You didn't think that we could get a worse Divine Relic than Grail, but Weebs gave it to us. So sorry, Weebs, for hating on your new card so much. It's trash, though. Maybe try giving us a better Divine Relic. Until next time, peace.